I remember doing a course with the florist that I really like, and she was showing me some stuff, and I was like, oh, my hands just weren't strong enough. And she was like, don't worry, that will come. I was like, oh, I hope so. My name's Alys and I own Blomst London, a flower business in Walthamstow village. So I am a buyer. I trained as a buyer. I'm a procurement professional, so I've done lots of exams and studying to get where I was in my career. I've always loved being a buyer, but I wanted something different, and I always felt like flowers gave me that something different. And I had Betsy, my daughter, who's now 1 year old, and we moved to Walthamstow village, and I thought, why not try it? Having Betsy has been the pivotal moment. So, you know, obviously people always say when you have a child, your life completely changes. And typical me, always driven to do something else. I had Betsy, I had some time because I was on maternity leave. Betsy would be sleeping, or, you know, I'd have a bit of time in the day, and I thought, hang on a minute, I'm living in Walthamstow. I feel like there's this massive gap. I think that I could hopefully try and fill that gap. Blomst means flower in Danish, and Denmark has been a country that's been really important to us as a family. My mum moved over there when she was a teenager, and that's passed down to myself and my brother. So family holidays with my mum, my dad and my brother were mainly spent travelling around Denmark. For me, I wanted to bring them to everyone, so I know sometimes it can be quite expensive to buy a bunch of flowers, and hopefully what I'm trying to do with my business is make it make my prices reasonable and open to families. So I have a subscription service. You can tell me the size of the bouquet that you want. It's really flexible service. I offer a mini, a midi or a maxi bouquet size. And then I can deliver them weekly, fortnightly or monthly to your door. I deliver them on Friday evenings, so you know you're going to be around. It's not going to be midweek and when people are working. So this is a midi, so this is one of our smaller bouquets. And we've gone for really nice autumnal colours this week. I always kind of think about where we are, so obviously Halloween's coming up, autumn, so it's kind of the colours are changing anyway. But I always have an idea of what I want to go to the market and buy, and I go there with the intention. Sometimes I get completely swayed by something else, but I've always got an idea, and then I come home and I start just to have a play, have a kind of, what do I think works well, what do I not think works well. But a lot of it is also on the job training and speaking to customers and finding out what they like and what they don't like. I'll be up typically about 3:30, 4:45, jump in the car, drive down to the market, spend probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours looking around, chatting to the traders there, deciding what I want to buy, loading it all into the car, driving back to Walthamstow so I get home to help get Betsy ready, so Betsy goes to nursery. And then start flowering, so make sure I get all the flowers into water as soon as I get home, get them conditioned so they're sitting pretty and they're ready to go when I'm ready to arrange them. I think having your own business, it's really difficult, and I think that's been one of the hardest things for me, especially with Betsy and Simon. I really cherish the time as a 3. It's about trying to make sure that Betsy has everything she needs. She has the time from me. If I've got a really busy day, I'm really lucky. I've got a really supportive family, so my dad will come and have her, and my mum will have her, and they'll take her out. It's exciting to be in charge of Blomst and pushing it forward and making sure that we're going in the direction I want us to go in. Never be embarrassed to ask questions. I always ask questions. I always go to the flower market and I say, oh, what about that? What about this? Just ask and just take in as much information as you can. When I first started, I used to go to Columbia Road. This is before I set the business up, but when I first started with the idea of wanting to do this, Columbia Road, the flower market. And I used to go to Columbia Road and I used to get beautiful blooms, and thinking back, the poor flowers, I used to hack them with normal kitchen scissors, which was like the bluntest things in the world. And I guess that comes, doesn't it, with kind of experience and knowing what tools to buy and what not to buy. My first day of trading was April 2016, and I had about 10 weddings last summer, so it was hectic, but really good experience. I had quite a few events, and I worked with some fantastic couples, really lovely brides, grooms, couples who just made it so enjoyable, and it was really important to me. I remember the first person that asked me to do their wedding was a really, really fantastic person called Ruth who had such nice style, and we just got on really well. But I invited her to my house when she asked me to do her wedding. This was about 4 months before her wedding, and I just said, look, I've not done a wedding before, so you will be my first bride. And it was really important to me to be honest with her. I didn't want to try and wing it and say, you know, I've done this loads of times and I don't know what I'm doing.